Hey everyone, it's Anna Runyon, and I am excited today. I get to interview two members of our Classy Career Goals Certified Coaching Program. I am super excited to introduce you first today to Ashley Clayton. Welcome, Ashley.
Hello.
Yay! So excited to have you here. We were chit-chatting before and I was like, I can't wait to just talk to you and like hear more. I always learn something new when I talk to Ashley. So I am excited. So tell us a little bit more about you, kind of like, where you're at in your career journey, and what people should know about you.
Mhm. Well, uh, I know you're promoting class as part of this, so I'm actually kind of one of the people that is the reason for having access to both is I'm a hybrid. I have my 9 to 5, it's really a flexible schedule, but 9 to 5 working as an information architect, for the Christian Broadcasting Network, and then on, this side I'm building out my coaching and consulting business around analytics, search engine optimization, and just general strategic planning for your business so you can actually have marketing that you know is working and get more time back.
So important. So important. I know
Yes.
I took one of your Google Analytics workshops and it was really good. So one of
Yeah.
the things that we connected on earlier too, we're both moms, and I think we have our kids are very similar ages too. So tell us more about that. How old are your kids,
Yeah.
and what's that like doing this while you're a
Uh,
mom too?
yeah. So I have a little 5-acre farm in Oklahoma, and I've got 2 boys, 2 dogs, and we're down to like 3 chickens now because we rounded. The rooster was being a jerk, so he had to go. Um, but I'm a boy mom, so my oldest is 9 and my youngest will be 4 next month, and I say that like next month is not tomorrow. Um, but yeah,
It's
and
coming
that's a
up.
lot of fun. And one of the reasons why I like having the focus with a career and things is because being able to identify what you want in a career is important. And for me, a lot of that was scheduling flexibility because not only do I have to also manage my own energy levels as a mom and with everything I've got going on, both of my boys are also on the spectrum. So being able to be there and work with our schedules and still give that structure to our family is important. And so being in class has helped me discover that as well as continue to maintain and uh, even in my 9 to 5, like put that forward as part of the negotiation when I was in the process of getting hired. So getting clear on what I want is invaluable.
Yeah, so you're one of our long lasting class members. When did you first join class?
I want to say it was 2017. That sounds right.
Mhm.
Random Instagram ad because I was not in your sphere before that. You did your webinar when at that point it was just the corporate rescue plan separate from the Love Your Career formula, and it was the corporate rescue plan because I've been wanting to start a business since 2014, but doing so in a way that is sustainable and that I actually want to continue doing that's not becoming like this heavy burden of like, oh gosh, I've got to do not just a job that I enjoy or that is tough at times while also trying to build this thing up from scratch. Um, and that gave a lot of clarity because I was like, well, I've done a lot of courses and things over the years, and those are nice, and it's given me a lot of knowledge, but it's not something that starting a business in like an 8-week intensive course is not really a thing because while you can get the infrastructure up and get it going, how are you going to keep that machine going once you've got it up? And so that's a lot of stuff that I like that you cover. And it's not just what worked, you know, when you made the course, which could have been, 5, 6, 7 years ago, depending. Um, but okay, well, what would I do differently if I was starting today based on what I know is currently working, which is extremely helpful and useful.
And you were looking to do more consulting, more coaching. What were some of the problems that you were facing when it came to like starting your own coaching business?
Um, Really just kind of figuring out, um, almost like what the focus would be, like, and how to kind of niche down because there was like, niche, but it's like, you can't swing a stick sometimes without thinking that you're seeing, 20 different business coaches on it. I mean, it's a huge, if you do hashtag research or anything like that, it's a huge search term that people look at. And how do you stand out in that noisy space? Well, nobody has my unique experience. And so being able to leverage and tap into that through some of the exercises and the way your material has helped focus has been really good. But then also just having that community and having the advantage of being part of a community that is actually my ideal customers and being able to connect with them and answer questions, show value is really important because a lot of it is just knowing. I don't know where my brain's going with this, but that's it. But a lot of it is just going with there's so many moving parts to starting a business that having somebody help you prioritize those when there's 10 things you can be doing out of that 20 and they all seem equally important, and then having somebody that's out of your own head and out of your own business come in and say, okay, this is, ask some clarifying questions and then help you self-discover and even suggest new paths, which is where it's like coaching is kind of helping the self-discovery where it's like, what you should be doing. I'm just helping you get past whatever mindset block you might have. Or if it's like, I don't know how to do this, well, that's where the consulting part of it comes in, where I have this breadth of knowledge in the tech space and in online marketing that I can answer with that expertise and shortcut your process to be able to get the results that you want.
Exactly. And I love doing this too because I know the potential that you like for you. I knew the potential you had. I think I was like, let's go, let's go. So how did you, because I think once you joined the certification, you like took off. Like there was something that happened that day when you made that commitment or something, and all of a sudden you're like off to the races and doing all this fun stuff, which we'll get to all your wins here soon. But how did you like hear about the certification, and what were you thinking when that came about?
Um, I don't remember. I think you either mentioned it during our annual retreat for people that have been in the group for it's either 2 or 3 years. I don't remember. And then you also mentioned it in the group at large for the class membership. And because your methods have like the plan alone, like the planning method that we've been doing the workshop on this week alone was the one thing that kept me sane through all of the insanity of the last couple of years, including like unexpected layoffs, finding a new career path when the one that I had been pursuing at a startup had kind of dead ended. So having those made this a lot easier to kind of get through, and I wouldn't be here or have like where I am now was not even remotely on my radar. And yeah, it's crazy the paths that you can take whenever you just kind of have a methodology and just really trust it. And it's in the consistency in doing it. Because I know some people are like, wow, you've been in the group for 3 years and you're really now doing that forward momentum on the business. But it's like, yes, but I've also spent that time in the love your career area, making sure that I had a job that supported me in the way that I needed, that fit with my personal needs and vision. Because I feel a lot more confident in really building my business. I need to stop saying I'm starting a business because I've done workshops.
You have,
I
yeah.
have a business. I have clients. And so it's just focusing in on, okay, what's that next piece? And having that one-on-one to supplement or one to group, because we also have group stuff, but to supplement the materials that I've already been going through in class, and then being able to not have to reinvent my version of Honest System, so there's not like intellectual property rights violations and stuff like that. I've worked in that realm too, so that's something as a business owner I'm very aware of when it comes to sharing things. But having that base of users already in there made it very easy to say yes to the certification. Made it very easy because I've gotten multiple results with following these methods, and it's, again, very nice not to have to reinvent the wheel. And even down to like the nitty gritty that I know usually holds a lot of people back from starting the business of like, finances, legal, that was included. And it was nice to be able to like, oh, okay, this is not as scary as I thought it is, or we always make things scarier in our heads than they really are. And so that was really the thing that helped accelerate, because it was like, no, here's the expert. Oh, really? These are like the three things. That's not, I can do that. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And that made it a lot easier.
Yeah, I could tell as soon as you got the clarity. I feel like you were taking a lot of action because you had the plan and you knew exactly the steps to take. Did you doubt yourself at all? And like, tell us about what you did in the first month of joining the certification, because you got busy and you did something amazing. But tell us, like, were there any fears or doubt that creeped in that first month, and some of the actions you took when you joined certification?
Very much so. It was like, okay, this is real. I've made this investment. And I mean, there really is something to, you've invested in a program, you really do want to take the action, especially like people are like, oh, well, I give away the free stuff. Well, there's always going to be the freebie takers, but then there's the people like me that were like, I want the shortcut. I want, just show me, I will follow and trust the process, because, I haven't been steered wrong by Clash yet. I doubt that'll happen. But I got out of my own head with it, because I've done web design development. I'm like, okay, I've got to have my website up. Like, nope, you can do a website for free on Canva. So my husband quit his job at the beginning of the year to kind of help with this as well. And so it was, well, what do you want to build for the website? And I'm like, I've got it in my head for the sales page. So I'm just gonna build the Canva thing for the layouts, because I communicate visually a lot. And so that's a lot easier for me to articulate to somebody that's going to go build, as he's learning how to build websites. So I was able to do that. And now he's got a blueprint he's using to kind of rebuild the same thing just on an actual web page. And, not getting super fancy, because it was a web page I designed in Canva, linking to a ConvertKit shopping cart page, because then I didn't have to worry about, because they have a Stripe Express as their back end. And so keeping the systems lean and just being able to just put it out there, and then posting kind of consistently on social media during the time when I was promoting it. The timeliness of it was also a big factor, because there are still going to be a lot of business owners and website owners that are going to be completely taken off guard come July, when their Google Analytics just quits working and they don't have stuff already feeding in to the new system. And so that's what the workshop is about. It's getting you set up to where you at least have that new system up and running and collecting data, because it's a lot easier for you as business owners. Like, it's a lot more powerful than Universal ever was.
Yeah. So
And
within
it
like a
just
couple weeks, you had turned around that sales page and you were delivering this workshop
Mhm.
on Google Analytics.
Yes, and I had 13 people buy, and
Yay.
that was just posting in Facebook groups that I had, been a member of for a while and providing value, posting consistently on Facebook and Instagram. I think I shared a couple of things on Pinterest for it, but by and large, it was going to be Facebook and Instagram
Yeah.
that kind of drove that, and some word of mouth for people that like I had never met a person before, at least one of the people before, and then yeah, so it's like you
Yeah.
never know who's in your network that might use it.
Exactly. And because what I recommend to people is to have that digital product that's leading in to your coaching as well. And so, creating that workshop is something that you can then turn into a digital product. And then you're having these leads come in who already like know, like, and trust you as well, because you delivered a great workshop and everything too. So yeah, I loved seeing you just like make that commitment and then start to take action given all the layouts and the formulas and everything that we had too. So what has happened since, like what as it's been 6 months, this is a 6 month program. This is not like a quick 5 week
Mhm.
course that we were talking about. So what's happened over these last 6 weeks or 6 months, and what are some of the big things in the program that were most helpful for you?
Uh, for me, I've gotten some, like as I mentioned, I've got some clients, I've got one retainer, and then I've got somebody that they run their own website shop, and whenever they've got somebody that they want to do like a tech audit for to make sure the website's sound as part of their discovery, they just pay me the one off for that project. And then so what else happens is that so that's there, and then I'm following up with them because some of their clients will engage or have plans to engage for an ongoing strategy retainer, because that's what I do. I live really in the strategy, like SEO. I'll help you know what you should be targeting. I'm not writing your content for you because I'm generally not the subject matter expert on your audience and your niche. Um, and then also just uh, I've gotten a couple of different like speaking engagements and things that are coming up that I'm excited for. And it's really helped show that I can make money from sharing my knowledge and my skills. And that's really confidence building. Um, just because it's all theory until you actually put in your court time and wind up. Rare sports analogy from me, by the way. I'm not a big sports person. It's like you do actually have to. Theoretically, I know how to play basketball. Am I good at it? No. Um, but you have to put in your time to build those skills to know how to, shoot the free throws and actually make them, build up the strength in your arms and things like that. But the pieces of the program that helped me the most were the systems, because again, I'm not having to recreate from scratch. I can kind of take it like, okay, this is how Anna has systematized this. What will that look like here? And there's one template that was kind of a coaching template she provided that's this ongoing kind of like tracker thing
Mhm.
for the planning. And I was like, this is brilliant. So I took it and completely reconfigured it to work for the type of retainer work that I'm doing. So that way I already have something that I know works, and I can have that ongoing tracking, because especially if you're in the service area or the service industry as an online business owner, being able to keep consistent tracks of your wins for your clients is important, especially when it comes time for like when either that contract period is up, or to continue to prove that ongoing value of like, hey, I'm bringing in more money than your costume. Because it's like business owners, you guys are always weighing those things to make sure that you're running things sustainably.
Exactly. And I know one of the things you said that you thought it sounded too good to be true when you first joined. Tell me more about that. And
Oh,
then what is the result that you've seen?
yeah, so it was more with class that I was like, I've followed these systems before, like, I'm pretty sure I know what a lot of this is gonna be about, and there was a little bit of that, but, like, there was a lot more that I was like, "Oh, these other guys didn't even touch half this." And then having that community was the biggest difference because you're able to, like, cheer each other on, like, it's all at your own pace, so we're all at different places on our journeys, and so with the coaching, again, because I knew the strength of the community, I knew, um and unlike a lot of coaching certifications, having to go out and, friends and family your way over to things where it's like they're not necessarily your ideal coaching clients, um, really helped because I was like, one, I know class has a lot of my ideal clients in it because a lot of people are business owners. And so, one, I already know some of the things based upon what they're sharing. So I'm able to offer even better coaching to class members because we already speak the same language. My background's in anthropology and linguistics. And so it's like language does matter and having the same vocabulary or reference points. Because if I just say, oh, plant, well, if you're new to Anna, you may not understand that that entails like annual planning, 90-day planning, and all the way down versus of, oh, is it just a planner that she provides or what, but also the strategy behind it.
Yeah, you had really built up your skill set and knowledge. And I know so what you're kind of talking about too is like the requirements to become certified because your graduation is next month. So you're completing all those requirements right now. How is that going? Like getting your practice coaching, doing the independent study, like how has that gone so far?
Um, the practice coaching has been interesting because it's for me, it's actually been a mix of either on virtually through ongoing retainer client things, but also with the organizations I'm involved with here in Oklahoma, and even at a conference I attended last week for nonprofits, doing some of it in person where it's okay. There's one lady out in Hawaii that I met, and she works for a nonprofit that's connecting people with um, basic needs services in her area, and she's having to wear like to put it more in business terms, like the sales hat as well as the marketing hat at the same time. And she's like, I don't have a way to do this, so I got to know her over the week, and we just sat down. We kind of like talked through of like, hey, when you get back, here's your action plan.
Nice.
Set something up here, here's do that. And so that was a lot of fun to be able to do. And I was equipped with those tools because of, the coaching certification program at large. Because like class is more broad, so it's not specific to if you want to start a coaching business. And so because this was more targeted, I was able to get more focused, which led to faster results. So
I love that. So what do you think would have happened if you didn't join the certification program? Like where do you think you'd be right now, or what problems would you still be experiencing?
I would probably it is debatable whether or not I would have launched the workshop. Very debatable because there's a lot also going on in my 9 to 5, which and then also being ready to either do a different workshop later this year or relaunch the Google Analytics one based upon some feedback. I think I want to do another live round of that. And again, I'm very much hey, let's go learn and I will research something to death, but it's like the action taking. And so by having like the additional investment in the coaching certification, it's like, okay, you've spent money on this. We need to make sure that we're leveraging the extra assets that I'm being given. So that way I'm able to move. And plus at this point too, my husband would probably be already like either looking for another job or something like that. And right now he's like, he's fine with like continuing to build this out, which has been really helpful. So
yeah, you guys are a great team.
Our family too.
Yeah.
Yes, he's the tactician to my strategist, which is so helpful.
That's neat. So yeah, it's even helping your family too. I love that. Mm-hmm. So what's next in the next 6 months? Now, you're almost certified. Like you now have, you've built your confidence. I've seen like, you grow your confidence so much. You have clients, you have this workshop. Where do you see this going? Like, what are you going to do now?
I am. So the workshop I've got right now is the Google Analytics 4. And so I'm trying to think like, what's the step before that can kind of help even bring more people into the world or into my world that maybe don't necessarily know that they need analytics or search engine optimization help, because neither one of those are the most exciting subjects for a lot of people. Yeah. I'm wired that way, so I love them. But when somebody's not searching for, how to do this or what I actually do, or the strategy piece, or they may not know that's why their business feels like a hamster wheel and that they're constantly hustling and not really actually seeing a whole lot for it. That's hard to articulate into, oh, I need analytics help, of course. Right. Yeah. Because again, most people don't think like I do. Yeah. And so for me, the next thing is, well, where did I get stuck? Initially, even in class. And one of the first things you do, we already talked about it in the workshop series that you did this week, you have to start with that vision. And that's always so super tough because nobody can just hand you a vision the way it's like, okay, here's the plan based upon what you told me. That part's easy. Yeah. Comparatively. But to be able to isolate, like, okay, what do I want, and filtering through what my family, my culture, media, all of this other says that I should want versus like what are my values, and kind of figuring out and building a workshop around, okay, we're going to build your vision, but I'm going to help you with a toolkit to help you unpack that and not be stuck with it, because there's such a thing where like, well, what's your vision? And then it's like, just because of all the possibilities, your brain just can't really filter through them. And so it's like, how can we kind of step back and rein that in a bit to where you can define something, and even then knowing of, hey, your vision can change over time. There's been common threads throughout, but the clarity has just gotten more and more. So I want to help other people find that same clarity as well.
I love that. I love
like whether or not they need analytics or marketing.
Yeah. As a coach too, like that's one of the things we do is like we coach based off things we've learned as well. So I love that you're taking a place where you got stuck and now helping other people by teaching a workshop, by doing coaching with them, and by helping them through that too. So I love that. Where can people find out more about you, Ashley?
My primary platform right now is on Instagram. So I am at Iterateology. And I can share that link before that. And then I also have my website. Actually, in the I know in the Classy Career Girl Network group, you had the promote yourself thing, and I did put in that. So I
Oh,
will
good. Awesome.
grab
Awesome. Well,
that
thank
and
you
put
so much,
those in the
Ashley.
chat. You're welcome.
Please do. Please do. Let us know when your vision board workshop is. I think I have a pile of magazines on my desk, and I've been meaning to make my vision board, and I haven't yet. So I need your workshop just to
Nice.
like hold me in my room and like make me do it.
And that's really
So
fun because I digitally, so you and I have totally different approaches to it, and they're both excellent approaches. It's what works best for you.
exactly. Yeah, we could do a whole training and chat just about vision boards. So we'll stop
Oh,
that. That'll come
yes,
up next, like later on this year. So awesome. Thank you so
yes.
much, Ashley, for joining us.